Right. Diving in today, and this Mind Cafe article about goals really hit a nerve with me.
Yeah, yeah, goals. It's funny how we think it's just, lists and deadlines, but this article goes way deeper.
It really does, like the whole mindset thing, even happiness. I mean, is that like a prerequisite for success or what?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because the article makes this case that how we feel about our goals,
Hmm.
that ownership piece
Yeah.
and just overall happiness, it's like just as important as the steps themselves.
Okay, so like first step, feel good, then make the plan.
Not necessarily first, but it's definitely woven in there. Right from the start, the article kicks off with this whole visualization thing.
Oh yeah, picturing the moment of victory. I like that.
Right. So they're describing, sun on their face, arms raised, knowing your book hit the bestseller list, that kind of thing.
I can picture it now. So do you actually use visualization techniques?
Oh, yeah, all the time. It's not just, daydreaming. It actually crimes your brain for success. Like, seriously, when you create that mental picture,
Mm-hmm.
it's firing up the same neural pathways as if you were actually living it.
Whoa. So it's like a blueprint, but for your subconscious?
Exactly. And it's way more powerful than people realize.
Okay, so I'm picturing myself beach somewhere, laptop, close that sense of I did it, but to get there, we need a plan, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the article brings up James Clear's concept of ruthless pruning.
Ooh, okay. I struggle with that, letting go of potential opportunities even when I'm spread thin.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Yeah. But Clear's idea is all about prioritizing, like really trimming down to give those core goals space to flourish.
Hmm. Okay, I get the analogy they use. It's like a garden. If you cram too much in, nothing thrives.
Exactly. Give each plant room to breathe and it can reach its full potential.
So, how do you actually choose what to prune, though? That's the hard part for me.
Well, this is where the endowment effect comes in. It's this psychological quirk where we overvalue things just because we own them.
Wait, really? Even if it's like junk?
Yeah, the article uses this example of a study with coffee mugs. People given these mugs didn't want to trade them for chocolate. Even
Even though they didn't care about the mug before.
exactly, simply possessing it made it seem more valuable.
Huh. So, it's not even about the thing itself, it's the owning it.
Right, and that applies to goals too. We cling to them even when they don't serve us anymore, simply because we've invested time.
Oh, so it's like this is my goal. I've put in the work, even if it's not the right goal anymore.
Yep. So instead of chasing new shiny objects, focus on what you've already claimed as your own.
Okay, makes sense. But sometimes willpower alone isn't enough. This is where the happiness piece blew my mind.
Right. Most people think success, then happiness, but this article flips that.
Totally. I thought it was like work hard, be miserable, then you can finally relax and be happy.
Nope. They quote this Stanford researcher, Dr. Emma Seppele, and her work shows happiness actually boosts productivity resilience energy.
Get out of yourself. Like, if I want to get stuff done, I got to be happy first.
It's more nuanced than that, but yeah, basically prioritizing your well-being is key.
That's so counterintuitive, though.
It is, but think about it. When you're stressed, burnt out, nothing works, right?
True, but when I take a break, do something fun, I come back with way more energy.
See, that's the thing. It's not ignoring challenges. It's approaching them from a place of strength optimism.
Hmm. Okay, so happiness isn't the reward, it's part of the process.
Exactly. And the article brings up this amazing example to illustrate this, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. You know, the Miracle on Ice,
Oh man, that movie gets me pumped every time.
right? So the coach, Herb Brooks, he got that fostering a positive but focused environment was crucial.
Yeah, you could tell he had this unwavering belief in his team, even when they doubted themselves.
Exactly. And that belief, that shared vision, that's what helped them pull off the impossible.
It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, though, right? He pushed them hard,
He did, but it came from a place of wanting them to be their absolute best.
and they responded to that. You could tell they weren't just following orders, they were playing with heart.
That's the magic of great leadership, and it applies to us too.
So we've got visualization, focus, ownership, and now this happiness thing, it's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's like building a toolkit, not just for achieving goals, but for living a more fulfilling life.
And where do we go from here?
It's interesting how this Mind Cafe article goes beyond just the, mechanics of goal setting.
Right, like it's not just about smart goals and to-do lists.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, yeah, a plan is important, but don't forget you're human.
Yeah, you have emotions, you got to enjoy the process too.
Exactly. And that whole happiness piece really stuck with
Me
me.
too.
Yeah.
It's like a total shift from that grind now, be happy later mentality.
Right. And the science backs it up. We used to think of happiness as this fleeting thing,
Mm-hmm.
but now research shows that cultivating it as like a state of being actually affects our cognitive abilities resilience relationships.
So it's like a positive feedback loop. Happiness breeds success, and de-success can lead to more happiness.
Exactly, but here's the question. How do you maintain that happiness when things get tough?
Right, because life throws curveballs. What happens then?
That's the key, right? Happiness in this context isn't about ignoring the bad stuff.
Yeah, it's not like pretending everything's perfect.
Right. It's more about cultivating this inner resilience, a sense of hope, even when things are tough.
So it's not waiting for happiness to magically appear before you go after your goals.
Right. It's weaving it into the journey itself.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do we actually do that?
Well, the article hints at it, but doesn't give a step-by-step. But based on the research they cite, there are some key practices.
Okay, like what?
Well, there's a ton of research on mindfulness, for example.
Oh yeah, mindfulness. That's a buzzword I hear everywhere.
So in the context of goals, mindfulness is about being present in the moment,
Okay.
observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
So not trying to change them, just noticing them.
Exactly. It's about awareness, which
Yeah.
helps you manage your energy, your reactions.
Okay, so instead of getting swept away by stress, you're learning to choose how you respond.
Exactly. You're taking control of the control panel in your mind.
I like that analogy, and this ties into another practice. The article mentions gratitude.
Oh, yeah. Gratitude is huge.
It's so easy to focus on what's going wrong.
Right. But when you consciously focus on what you appreciate, it shifts your whole perspective.
It's like you start seeing the abundance even when things are tough.
Exactly. And I've noticed that when I'm focused on the negative, it just magnifies everything.
Me too. But if I take a moment to appreciate the good things, even small things, it changes my whole mood.
It's like gratitude is a muscle you can train.
So we've got mindfulness for awareness, gratitude for a positive outlook.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, the article touched on social connection. Remember the hockey team example?
Oh, yeah, they weren't just individuals, they were a team.
Exactly. We're social creatures. We thrive on connection and belonging.
So spending time with loved ones, being part of a community.
Exactly. It's crucial for our well-being. And when we feel supported, we're more likely to take risks, persevere, achieve those big goals.
It's like that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that. But it's not just about receiving support. It's about giving back, too.
Oh, yeah, contributing to something larger than
Yeah.
yourself.
Exactly. Acts of kindness, big or small, create this ripple effect.
So volunteering, donating, helping a friend.
It all connects us to something bigger, reminds us that our efforts matter.
It's like happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions.
Powerful stuff,
Okay.
right? So we've got mindfulness, gratitude, social connection, giving back. It's amazing how it all fits together.
It really is. It's not just about the goal. It's about creating a fulfilling life along the way.
And that brings us back to Coach Herb Brooks. He wasn't just focused on winning.
Right. He was committed to his players' growth as people, too.
Exactly. He understood the journey was just as important as the destination.
He was tough, but he believed in them, and that made all the difference.
And that resonated with the players. They weren't just following orders, they were playing with passion.
That's what great leadership is all about, and it applies to us, too.
We can all cultivate relationships with people who believe in us, challenge us, support us.
Mentors, friends, family.
Exactly. They become our cheerleaders, our sounding boards, our reality checks.
I've definitely had people like that in my life. They weren't always official mentors, but they encouraged me to keep going.
That kind of support is priceless, and it's something we can actively cultivate.
Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Challenge you, celebrate your successes.
Exactly. That connection makes all the difference when you're going after big goals.
So we've got visualization focus, ownership happiness as fuel, the journey itself, the importance of a support system. What else is there? So it feels like we've really built this whole framework for, tackling those big, scary goals.
It is kind of holistic, isn't it? It's not just about the end result.
Right. It's the mindset, the journey, the people around you, even just feeling good in general.
And the thing is, it's all connected, right? You can have the best plan in the world.
But if you're miserable and burnt out, forget it.
Exactly. Without that drive, that sense of purpose and, happiness, you're not going to last.
Okay, so remember that saying, journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's more like journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step taken with a joyful heart.
I like that. Much better, way more accurate to what we've been talking about.
So we started with visualization, right? Getting your brain ready for success.
Right. Then ruthless pruning. Got to get rid of those distractions.
And we dug into that endowment effect thing, how just owning something makes us value it more.
Which explains why we cling to goals even if they're not right for us anymore.
But then things got really interesting when we talked about happiness.
Right. Not as a reward, but as like a secret weapon.
Exactly. And we even get into some practical stuff like mindfulness.
Right. Being present in the moment, noticing those thoughts and feelings.
And gratitude, shifting that focus to what's good.
And, of course, we can't forget social connection, the power of having a supportive crew.
Like Coach Brooks and the hockey team, they weren't just individuals.
Right. They had each other's backs. They believed in something bigger.
Which brings us to giving back, doing something that matters.
Contributing to the world, making a difference.
So we've covered a lot. Visualization, focus, ownership, happiness as feel the journey itself, support systems. It's a lot.
It is, but it all boils down to this achieving big goals. It's not about some magic formula.
Right. It's not about luck or being super talented.
It's about making that choice, committing to your dreams, taking care of yourself.
And surrounding yourself with the right people.
And never forgetting that happiness, it's not just the destination, it's the gas in the tank.
I love that analogy. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
Knowing what we've discussed, what's one big goal that's really calling to you right now? And what's one tiny step, even a teeny one, you can take today to get started?
Just that first little push to get the ball rolling.
Take a moment, think about it, and then go make it happen.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep aiming for those stars.
Yeah.